Hi guys, welcome back. I'm going to do a video today on another piece of kit I bought for the build I'm doing on my Range Rover L322, 22 years old, 2004 plate, and yeah, just something I've been working on now. I've had the L322 since 2.5 years, and then I suddenly thought I want a tent box because I can use it to do commuting for work when I'm down in London and stay just outside, and I can pop the top, literally spend the night there, freshen up the next morning, get straight into London and do a full day's work. Whereas if I'm commuting from Manchester, where I'm from, hence the name Mancunian Chris, then obviously that's quite a, an upheaval to drive down there on the day or to get a train. So that was one of the reasons. And then I've always liked camping, I've always liked being in the outdoors. So it's just the best excuse to give to my wife that this was going to be a good idea. I am a little bit all the gear, no idea, but that's part of the fun process. So one of the first things I wanted to sort out on my rig was to look at water. I wanted to do wild camping, I've done a bit now and I'm really enjoying it. It's so good being off grid, and it's so good to have everything all in one place in the back of your 4x4. So it's an expensive game, I'm not going to lie. Anybody who's watching this probably knows that already, but it's worth it. The fact is that you can get some good kit that can really change your whole environment and change your whole experience. So that's the method of my thinking, if you like. So what I wanted to do is look at the water system within my vehicle, and one of the first things that was brought to my attention was actually not to do with what we're going to be talking to today with OnTap, but it was to do with these guys, and this is Domitec. And Domitec, some of you will be familiar with this, it's the Domitec hydration jug, and it's got its own very trendy pump on the top, which has a little LED light as well. Magnetic, so you can literally stick it anywhere in your vehicle. Fantastic piece of kit, very good for drinking water, and that's what I use it for. So that's exclusively for our drinking water at the site. Maybe brushing teeth at night is the only other reason I'd use it, but the rest of the time it's for drinking water, making cups of tea, coffee, and just general glasses of water throughout the day. So really nice bit of kit. I think that's 11 litres 11 litres that holds. So that's, good capacity, very useful. But if you want to expand into other areas like washing, or doing the washing the pots, or doing your general washing up, or you want to look at actually having a shower, or cleaning yourself down, or cleaning the dog, or doing what else, or cleaning down the actual vehicle that you're using, then I was pointed towards one of the best pieces of kit on the market, and that's from the guys at OnTap. Now this is their original water jerry, I suppose you call it, jerry can, that I bought. Again, yeah, they're expensive, but the quality build is sensational. This one you can see has got an insulated cover on it. The whole reason for the insulated cover is to ensure that if you put hot water in there or you put cold water in there, it remains hot or cold for quite a few hours later. I think they say 8 hours in terms of hot water, so it's quite a promise. Fantastic piece of kit, so solid. Plug it into your 12 volt on your vehicle and you've got extremely good, powerful jet off this extension hose. I've used that a few times now, washed the dog down with it, done washing up with it mainly, did have a shower with it, done shaving, and having an outside shower in a wild camping place when you're on your own in the middle of nowhere. You've got a tent, a small pop-up tent, but if you leave the roof off, it's gorgeous. It really feels like you're at one with nature. Beautiful experience that I'd recommend to anybody. So I got that and I thought, super, I'm on top of the game. And then the boys at OnTap, I saw a video of them releasing the Roam. And what the Roam is basically this piece of kit of the original, but this time it comes with a battery on it and a rechargeable battery, and you can take this thing around wherever you want. You don't need your 12 volt on your vehicle. Everything's absolutely within the build. So for convenience and for general use, just second to none. It just can go anywhere basically. And what they also recommend is you get a spare jerry to go with it, so you've always got water on your rig. This will last 5 minutes solid at full power as a jet shower. Very useful and very good, and very powerful shower. And this is, you know, to have the backup water, then you know you're always going to be on top of your game if you're away for a few days. Especially, I usually only go away 1 to 2 days, so it's not a big deal for me that, but I do like it for convenience. I like to have my Donatec, to have my drinking water. I'm going to keep my original and use that as like my use around the general vehicle. But then if I'm going to go slightly away from the vehicle, whether I set my kitchen up away from the vehicle, or I want to go down to a beach and walk on sand and on rocks and things like that, and get, you know, basically get sea salt all over me and all my gear, then I'm going to start using this guy. And then obviously when you've used it, you go back to your vehicle, you swap over the battery, and you've got the same again to go with the same capacity. So bear with me, I'm going to open the box and we're going to see what we've got. And in the box, it's a very tasteful design. Get the trip out of the group chat. It sounds like good advice to me. All these things lead you to think, wow, wouldn't it be good to get away from social media? Wouldn't it be good to get away from our devices? And I think that's what they give you, that opportunity to do that. I think that's a holder for the shower hose, so for one of these. Shall see. Now, OnTap are a fantastic Australian company, formed in 2000, I think, in Sydney, Australia. And there, in resplendent glory, is our new OnTap. And as you can see straight away, the hosing on my original is all on the outside. The hosing on this has its own housing, so it can be nicely compacted in one place, which is really useful. And then I think I'm right in saying it's just a matter of click and clip. This is honestly the first time I've used this, never done this before, so bear with. In the words of Miranda Hart. There you go, got it wrong straight away. So too well built. There we go. So as you can see, that's a plunger and a seal that was sticking on there, and obviously with it being the first time I've opened it, I don't want to break it, and my lummox way of doing things I usually do. So that's what the battery unit looks like. Really nice, not heavy at all, very shockingly actually quite light. That's only about a kilo and a half maybe. Probably wrong on that, but double check. So it's got your unit here, you've got a spare, I think that'll be a spare cap there. Yeah, so that's sealing up, which I presume is what that guy will look like without the battery on. And then you've got your reservoir access there, which obviously aligns with everything on the top battery kit. So yeah, very pleased with that. Again, the build is just sensational. I've not got the insulation jacket for this or this, so I'm probably going to invest in that. I think it's a little bit, Oh no, it'll be the same size, won't it, if it's got that on. So yeah, same size. I presume it's the same insulation jacket, although the shape looks slightly different, so I'm not sure about that. I'll double check with the guys at OnTap. But yeah, well worth it to keep that heat in, because these three will be my general use water carriers, and therefore it's really important that you know, they're in pristine condition, but also that they're using to maximum effect. So having the insulation on it, if it's a hot day, you can put ice cold water in it and have an ice cold shower, you know, by the beach, which would be beautiful. Or if it's a cold day, you know, you could actually do both. You can put hot water in one of them, cold in the others, have a, you know, a healthier, hotter shower. But then if you want to cool down, like I say, you can keep it cool as well. So well worth that investment. As you can see, the hoses and the you know, everything that's on here is really well built. It's good, solid Aussie stuff. This one's slightly different functionality than the original. The original's a spray hose, which is super, by the way. No complaints at all about that. This one is a little bit more of a lever, and like, you've got all those functions, 10 different functions of power, and you just literally push the lever forward and you get your power. I'll do a proper on-site example video of that, and yeah, I'm going to have a little bit of a play with these. Then I've got to work out how I'm going to set it all out on my L322, which is not, as I keep telling my wife, I think it's a TARDIS, and it isn't. But you know, we've got a lot of kit here to use, and the thing is, if you put it in a good organised way in the vehicle, with a fridge freezer, that's the only thing I really insist on there, and my Jetboil Genesis, which is an absolute dream. You've got the basics there for setting up on a site, or on a definitely in wild camping. So yeah, tune in again. I'll give you a little bit more information on how I find these products. I've paid for all of these, nothing's free. So yeah, it's not that I'm being sponsored to do this, but I have to say I endorse OnTap, because great quality, great people, fantastic customer services, and just the quality of the build is something else. So yeah, see you soon.